So your drawing should have the basic shapes for your buildings. We have the form, we see how wide and tall these objects are. They should look three-dimensional. Next, we're gonna add the architectural features. So the windows and the doors, the lines on the sidewalk. And again, we're just going off basic vertical lines, and those lines connect with the vanishing points. So I'm gonna take my ruler. I'm gonna start with a door. So I'm gonna draw a vertical line, making sure my ruler is lining up with the end of the paper. I'm gonna draw a vertical line. I think that's tall enough for a door. And then I'm gonna take the top of this vertical line and I'm gonna have it line up with the vanishing point. Because it's on this side of the building, it's gonna go to this vanishing point. I'm gonna draw how wide I want my door to be. And then I'm gonna close off this shape with a vertical line. All of the lines you are gonna draw are either vertical or orthogonal. Okay, so there's my basic shape for my door. I'm gonna draw some windows. So I'm gonna start with my vertical line first. Draw about that tall. Now the top and the bottom are going to line up with the vanishing point. I'm gonna draw the width of my window. And now I'm going to close off that shape with a vertical line. Okay, so I can do some more up here just so you can get the concept. Actually, I'll just go off of this so that I know it will match on the top floor. So vertical line. I'll just do two vertical lines. And then the orthogonal line for closing off the shape, just like that. Okay, I can draw one more window right here, have it line up with the door, and I'm going to go off the orthogonal line from this window so that it matches. And so it looks like my windows are in a row. And a vertical line, I'm just gonna kind of keep in mind the same width. So I don't have one random big window compared to the rest on the building. Excuse me. All right, so that's this side of the building. Now I need to do the windows on this side. So I'm not going to use this vanishing point anymore. I'm going to use this one because it's this side of the building. Now, one trick I like to do when I do windows is I'll use my ruler and just kind of make a mark on the corner of the building for where the tops and bottoms of my windows are. So that way I can get it to match and align on the other side. So I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to connect that little mark I made to the vanishing point. I'm gonna draw really light lines. That line was a little too light, I can barely see it. So now all I have to do is draw the vertical lines for the sides of the windows. Just like that. Make my next line for my windows. Probably want it about that wide. And I don't think I have room for any more windows right here. So I could move these and center them so it doesn't look as off. But for the sake of time, I won't do that. Just deal with my off-center windows for now, I guess. And then I can erase the orthogonal lines that I don't need anymore. So this is the same concept you're going to use for your other buildings. So you start with your vertical line. I'm going to make a big window, like if this is a bakery or a cafe or something. Just going to make a really big line for a big window. And again, I'm going to connect the bottom to the vanishing point. I'm going to connect the top to the vanishing point, and then close it off with a vertical line. I need to leave room for my door. A vertical line for how tall I want the door to be. One more for the other side of the door. And the vanishing point for an orthogonal line. Okay? So that's the basic concept for how to get your windows and your doors. Okay? So just start with that vertical line and have it connect to the vanishing point for those orthogonal lines. I'm going to show you how to do the sidewalk next. And then I'm also going to do some fencing over here where I have my horizon line that you can see with a little park or something going on right there. So for my sidewalk, I need to draw a vertical line for the height of my sidewalk. You know how there's a curb and you have to step up to get onto the sidewalk sometimes? So that shows that thickness, and I'm going to connect that to the vanishing point. Same on this side. Now, I am going to take this orthogonal line that's flush with the sidewalk, and I'm just going to continue that line onto the sidewalk right there. So same with this line right here. I'm going to connect it right there. So that's my first square or cement block on my sidewalk. Now what I need to do here is draw a vertical line, because that's the front face or side of the sidewalk cement blocks. Okay, so I have my first block now. So what I'm going to do for the rest of the sidewalk, I want to keep in mind that as I go farther away in space, things are going to look smaller. So not all of my sidewalk blocks are going to be the same width all the way down. It's going to get smaller and the blocks are going to decrease in size. So if I look at this one, it's about a little over 2 inches, 2¼ inches. So I'm going to do 2 inches. Then I'm going to do 1½. I'm just going to decrease by ½ inches. 1, and then a half. Actually, I think that's a little too small. I'm not going to do halves. I'm going to do by quarters. There we go. So 2, 1¼ 1½, 1. And I have a book over here, so that's why I can't. That's why I can't slide over. Sorry. Okay, so I have my little marks here for where my sidewalk blocks are going to be, and now I'm going to connect them to this vanishing point. And you don't have to measure, you can just eyeball it too, but just keep in mind that the width is going to change as you go farther away in space. Again, I'm using my 2-foot ruler, but your 1-foot ruler should work too. Just be really aware of pointing the end of the ruler towards the vanishing point. Okay, so here's the rest of my sidewalk flat horizon lines. Now I need to do the vertical lines that connect the front slab or front face of the sidewalk. And these are getting so small, I don't really need my ruler necessarily. So same thing over here. Let's see, this was 2 1/4. So I'm gonna do 2, 1 1/4, 1 1/2. Keep going back space like that. Same thing. Going to connect those little marks to the vanishing point. I'm thinking my slabs are a little on the big side, so feel free to make yours smaller than mine. And again, you can just eyeball it. You don't have to measure it for the sidewalk slab anyways. Now I need to make my vertical lines for the front portion right there. Okay. Next, I'm going to add